This video is in response to a very common question that we get, and I saw it in another video in Comet's Garage about common leak points in a high pressure oil system and a power stroke. And it was a very, very well done video. Good job out of you, sir. But what if I build 1,000 PSI but no start? I will tell you, a tremendous number of you call us. We'll talk multiple times a day with this question. Hey, I've gotten 1,000 PSI, everything looks good, and yet my truck's not starting. Listen, if everything actually looked good, your truck would start. So something obviously doesn't look good. And so this is the common misconception. I'm seeing 1,000 PSI, but I'm actually not starting. Well, are you seeing 1,000 PSI or are you seeing 1,000 inferred PSI? This is the reason why I don't like looking at PSI. Look at voltage, injection control pressure voltage. Let's verify that your ICP sensor is good. So 0.24 volts, key on engine off. During cranking, are you developing more than 0.93? If you are developing more than 0.93, that's 500 PSI, which means that you do indeed have enough high pressure oil to enable the truck to start. So the 1,000 PSI number, it's probably a lie. Now, if your gauge pack does not read ICP voltage and all you have is PSI, then what do? You can get a sense for, because the ECM knows, you can get a sense for, hey, do I have what I need to have or not? So now you look at your IPR valve and you say, hey, my IPR valve, it's 14.84% key on engine off, therefore it's good. 14 to 15% is fine. And then during cranking it can hit 84, 85%. It just can't stay there. So it drops back down to 40s and 50s, and that gives you an idea that indeed you do have enough high pressure oil if you don't have a way to get there for certain by going ahead and taking a look at your ICP voltage. Now, if you do indeed have 0.93 volts or more, and commonly it's like 1.7 or something is what you would build in a healthy motor. And so if you do indeed have adequate high pressure oil and it's not a no start, then of course, or it is a no start rather, the first question that you all start with is, what codes do you have? So if you don't have any codes, well, that does make it harder. But assuming you have codes, now go ahead and look. A lot of times you'll throw a 2614 or a 2617 code, cam or crank position sensor code. Those are almost always not correct. It's like, hey, I'm cranking and I'm not starting. Well, why aren't you starting? You're not starting because indeed you've got another problem, and the fact that you've got this cam or crank code is just because, hey, the truck's expecting itself to start and it's not, so there's got to be a problem with the crank or cam position sensor. So most of those times when someone changes out those sensors are not the actual problem. But other things are. This is just basic stuff. Do you have adequate fuel pressure? As an example, is your fuel bowl filling up? Do you have more than 45 PSI? So key on engine off should be like 62 to 63 PSI of fuel pressure. During cranking, it can't be dropping below 45. Key on engine off, FICM sync should be 0, but during cranking, it should become 1. Key on engine off. If the ECM was happy with you last time, the truck starts. This is a lot like your wife. If you spent last night on the couch, it wasn't a singular event, probably. It was a culmination of events, and you got to prove yourself again that everything's copacetic. This is the reason why key on engine off. You can hear injector clatter if everything's copacetic and wonderful, but a lot of times you won't hear injector clatter key on engine off because the EC remembers that last time there was some problem with it. It's almost like, hey, prove to me that you're reliable again. Very much like your wife who says, okay, prove to me that you're going to remember your obligations to pick up little Johnny from daycare. You're going to remember that gallon of milk at the store. You're going to remember her birthday or whatever it is that you screwed up on. And so until you're back in her good graces, she's going to treat you differently. It's the exact same way with your ECM. So key on engine off, you should hear the injectors clatter. Now, if you don't, maybe it's because there's another problem with the truck. And so something that you can do is you can go ahead and you can say, hey, let's rule in or rule out the FICM. Now, FICM main power, that should be above 46 volts, key on engine off, and during cranking. If you're dropping into the 30s or whatever, if you're dropping below 45, well, there's your problem. But if you are not hearing injector clatter, like the problem's got to be with the logic board of the FICM, well, let's see if we force the FICM's relay to energize the ECM by manually jumping the FICM relay. And so we manually jump it and key on engine off. All of a sudden we have injector clatter. That tells me that our FICM is actually working just fine. It's just for some reason the ECM is not actually telling the FICM that, hey, we're go for launch. Probably you don't have FICM sync. To get FICM sync, you need cam sync, you need crank sync, you need injection control pressure over 500 psi in actuality, not necessarily what it's reporting, but do you have more than 0.93 volts, or are you actually developing 500 psi? Do you have a lack of keep alive memory code, a 0603 code? And do you have an exhaust back pressure sensor that's functioning properly? Those are all the things that are necessary. So if you do all that and you're still having a problem, give us a shout. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. Thank you, guys.